Hello everyone, welcome back to yet another expert live session with AI Planet. Today we will be talking about multimodal with Gemini and Langchain. To give you some context about multimodal, so Gemini has been for a very long time, but this is not a new thing. People have been using OpenAI Clip model for performing multimodal tasks, and there was also other models such as ImageBind, which Meta had built probably a year ago. So multimodal mainly refers to integration of different modes of communication or expression, and this can often be used in multiple forms such as text, image, audio, video that conveys the information to the user. And Gemini is a new and powerful artificial intelligence model developed by Google, which fits the need of understanding text, image, video, and sound. And today we have Kshitiz Rimal, who is our Google developer expert and founder at NextAI, who will be walking us through what is Gemini and how you can get started with multimodal in a use case with the implementation of LangChain. So, without further ado, let's start with the session. Over to you, Kshitiz.
Hello everyone, I hope you can all see my screen. So like Tarun mentioned, this is about multimodal use case of Gemini with LangChain, a framework, open source framework. So before we begin, let me introduce myself very briefly. I'm a ML GDE, Google Developer Expert. I am also a founder and CEO of NextAI, which is a Nepal-based AI company. Primarily we are doing consulting work, and I was before that I was a senior data scientist at Brainly, which is a tech company. And I guess like all of you in this time period, I'm also a generative deep learning explorer and enthusiast. So if you like to connect with me, this is my LinkedIn handle. Feel free to connect with me there. So for agenda today, we have very like a simple and straightforward agenda. We'll begin with generative AI overview, then LLM in a nutshell, then we'll head over to what is Gemini, what are the differences, and then we'll briefly talk about LangChain, the open source framework that we're going to use, and a demo, a hands-on demo. And if you're wondering, the image that you see on my screen right here, this is also generated by Gemini. So yeah. Okay, so overview. Uh, so generative AI or Gen AI in a nutshell. So basically an AI that can generate stuff like text, image, videos, sound, etc. And not only that, it's very interesting, and it's interesting because it got so powerful now that we can generate poems, essays, and so on. But it can also do other multi-purpose tasks like tagging, classification, which comes as like a out of the box, like a free, like you can reutilize this stuff like sentiment analysis, classification also using the same model. So it's not just about generating the output but also analyzing the input and creating classification around that. And the common element between all of these modalities, either text, image, videos, or sound, is the use of LLMs, which is large language models. So to give you a brief idea about what this LLM is, so basically think of a task where the deep learning models are trained so that when they are given certain sentences, and when these sentences are broken down into words, or to be very specific as a token, the task for this large language models would be to generate what the next word in a sequence would be. So given this task, these large language models are trained, and when they are trained on this large corpus or large data set to predict next word or predict next token, they got so smart and useful for our use case that we can do a lot of amazing stuff with it. Like let's say generating a poem like the roses are red, violets are blue, sugar is sweet, or even creating a source code or like a code like this for loop, like for loop and this syntax. So you can do with the same task, with the same approach, using this large language model we can do a lot of stuff. And so basically when you think about LLM, think of it as a deep learning model, nowadays mostly transformer based models that are trained on huge data set. And they are both commercially available, or they are also open source in nature. So the primary task would be here to understand what the input is, which is also in a natural language form, or and like we talk or we write, and then generate something that is also equally important to us, like a poem or essays or whatever we like. And some of the like notable examples of these LLMs are Gemini, of course, GPT-4, Palm 2, Llama models, which are open source models. So yeah, basically understanding the user natural language input and generating in a in the same way. So these are the essential part of LLM, and they make all these modalities work. So this is quite powerful and interesting to think about. And using this, we can do a lot of stuff, like I mentioned already: classification, entity extraction, translation, and yeah. And the latest addition to this LLM is Gemini, of course. And uh, right, I think around December or like beginning of this 2024, Google introduced Gemini, which is the most powerful model yet. And for now, you can access a lot of its features for free. And to give you a brief idea why it is like important, you can see that. So before that, Gemini 1.0, which is the pro version using this Google AI Studio, is as of now you can also try for free. And in the free version, you can do something like 60 queries per minute, and both input and output are free for now. And there is also the paid version for this Gemini, which can be accessed, I think, from this Vertex AI when you are a Google Cloud customer. But a lot of the stuff that you want to try out or do a research on can be done on this free version as well. And why this Gemini Pro is important or like powerful is when you see this comparison, which I have taken directly from the website that Google has provided. So you can see the numbers on the screen, the performance between GPT 3.5, which is also free for now, and Gemini 1.0 Pro. You can see significant improvement in performance. And not only that, one of the notable that distinguishes Gemini compared to GPT 3.5 is that it's multimodal use case. So as of now, 3.5 doesn't handle multimodal use case, but Gemini does, which you can do for free for now. So you can see the metrics around that multimodal, or image to be more precise, how it accurately handles a lot of this task already. So this is quite powerful and fascinating for multi-purpose use case, like either you are from industry or academia or you just enthusiast. It is a very interesting time, and like you can do a lot of stuff. So another thing that we're going to cover today is a framework that is called Langchain. So why Langchain? Why use this framework? Because so if you have played around with a generative AI using like Gemini or other commercially available model, is that they also provide you with API to do a lot of this text generation or image classification or image captioning or whatever task. But uh, in addition to that, if you want to create a very powerful application around this generative AI use case, you want to like use multiple such LLMs in a chain-like fashion. Like when you provide an input to LLM, you might want to like do something around that input, or like do something around the output that's generated by the AI, and create a more complex or more complicated task around that. One of such example is RAG, or retrieval augmented generation, which basically means in a very layman term is that there are certain documents that you want to question using LLMs, and LLM can generate answer based on that document only, and that answers are also very human readable, and like a person will answer based on that document. So creating such kind of a complex task around this LLM is very difficult by just using this APIs provided by these commercially available models. So LangChain, what it does is that it facilitated us with you can use multiple models for a simple or complex use case. You can use multiple tools around that. For example, if you want to create LLM that takes user input and do a Google search or something like that, or like do RAG around some certain document, and you want to again refine the output of the LLM to some other extent, you can all do that in a very easy manner, in a very convenient manner. So this is quite powerful, and that is why we are also going to explore how we can use Gemini Pro to be very precise on both text and multimodal or image use case using this. So without much delay, let me just head over to the demo, and I hope demo works because usually there is always trouble with demos. Okay. Uh, if you have any question up to now, please feel free to ask. Or yeah,
Yeah, I guess there are no questions for time being. Can you just send me the link of Collab Notebook so that I can add to the screen?
yeah, definitely.
So the API link is ai.google.dev, right? In order to get Gemini API key.
Yes. So primarily it was called Maker Suite. Now it's called Google AI Studio. So you can just go to Google AI Studio and generate an API key from there. And the like the URL is aistudio.google.com.
Great, got it.
Let me yeah, yeah, let me just share the link in our private chat.
Yeah, I've got the
Okay,
link. You can proceed.
okay, great.
I guess you can
So
zoom the screen a little bit so that it will be
yeah,
visible.
okay. Is it okay?
Yeah, 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 it works. Thanks.
Okay, great. So before we head over to the all the interesting stuff, we need to of course install our packages. So for now, we'll begin with installing LangChain. LangChain package for Google AI Generative AI, and a package that basically allows me to do in memory RAG. So this is doc array. This package does just that, and this FAIS CPU is basically the how I want to create this vector database for my in-memory document. So these are all required, and I won't head over to all the details of what packages that I'm importing, but basically they are like LangChain methods or like the modules that I want to use for this purpose. So as I go along with the tutorial, I think it will be more evident and more explanatory. So yeah, first thing first, we need to set the Google API key in order to use the Gemini. And like I also mentioned earlier, you need to get this key from aistudio.google.com. If you have a Google account, you can just use it for free. There you can see generate API key and just copy and paste the key and set it as an environment variable, and that's it. And I have a helper method that just basically downloads an image from the URL and save it in my disk, and that's it. And so this is this line, this simple LLM chain. So let me explain a bit about that. And this is also both the beauty of LangChain and how powerful it is. So in this three line of code, what we are doing is basically we are calling Gemini Pro, and you can see the model here I have specified, and basically I'm writing the instruction, the prompt that I want to create a poem or a ballad about like Gemini Pro in around 3 sentences, and using this two line of code basically it does just that. So this is quite powerful. So like basically install the package, import necessary in like the modules that you need, and in this case this chat Google Generative AI, and just specify the model as Gemini Pro, give the instruction, and there you go. There is this simple LLM chain. And why I'm calling it chain, because land chain basically everything can be treated as a chain, which will be more explained like as I go along with the tutorial. So basically think of it as a LLM, and we are calling the LLM to create the output like you do with Google Bard or Gemini right now, or ChatGPT or something like that. Now, bit more complex compared to this is this interface. here what I'm doing is I'm basically calling the same thing, but in a more like a conversational way. So imagine you want to create an instruction for your Gemini Pro, like, okay, you are a sales agent. You want to handle the request made by your customer in a in a very polite manner. So you can do that using this what is called system message. So basically, this is also provided by Langchain. What you do is just add a system message, basically a prompt, says how you want to handle the output for the given input, and basically with this human message as a template, you can specify the actual question that you want to ask the Gemini model, and that's that. So initialize the model using this line of code, specify the model, provide the system prompt, like how you want to handle the output, provide the input, and that's it. And here, as you can see, I have asked like, is this apple? So if I hit it again, you can see ask only answer only yes or no, and is apple a fruit, and it will just say yes or no based on that. So using this, like it's very simple how you want to communicate or use LangChain around that. Now, since this talk is mostly about multimodal, so I want to tackle that as well. So here I have on the screen, as you can see, this is a URL from Nike, and this is one of the sneaker. And so what I'm trying to do here is basically use that image of this sneaker and ask the model what it understood by that image. So here, using the same convention, but for a different model, here Gemini Pro Vision. So Google has this two different offering. One is Gemini Pro, which is for text, and Gemini Pro Vision, which is for multimodal or image use case. So here, how you specify is basically you create a human message around that, type a text for the instruction that you want to provide in addition to the image input. So here, what's in this image? Provide full detail as possible, and you just provide the image as this. And this image is just uh, image that I retrieved from the internet. And using this, you just run it, and you can see this is the image that I have provided, and we'll just wait for the response. So Google Gemini, it just understood the image and says this is a product image of pair of Nike Air Max 95. I'm not sure how accurate is that, but it understood that. So you can see a colorway information and how it's built and so on. So this is all like given to you by Gemini out of the box. So it just understood the image, what it is, and so on. Now let's head over to a more complex example. But I want to address if there are any questions up to now. I can clarify if there is something confusing.
Yeah, should we take it now or can we do it
Yeah,
later? Okay.
either way is fine with me. Yeah.
Okay. We'll take two questions like,
Okay.
can we use Gemini Ultra or is it just Gemini Pro for time being?
Okay, so you can use Gemini Ultra, but from Vertex AI. So you need to be a GCP customer or Vertex AI customer, and then from there you can use Gemini Ultra and Nano. But if you are a free user and you want to explore using this AI Studio, then for now it's Gemini Pro 1.0.
Okay. Since you mentioned 1.0 specifically, there was also a
Yeah,
follow-up question on is it possible to
yeah.
use Gemini 1.5?
I think it's limited access for now, but soon I think it will be available. But I'm not sure when.
Okay, I guess it was just released a day or 2 day before
Yeah,
itself. So
yeah,
probably it will take some time.
yeah.
Yeah, I guess we can continue.
Yeah, okay, great. So if you're not aware of this concept of RAG, so basically what it does is that you have a knowledge base somewhere with you, like a database of question answers or the knowledge base that you want your AI agent to answer based on that, not just thinking from where it was trained from or how it was trained from. So basically it allows you to provide answer that is more correct, and you can control the output of the LLM or the AI agent. So basically, what you do in this RAG is you provide a knowledge base where all the information that you want the AI to answer is there. And here in this case, I have a very small knowledge base with basically three pairs of sneaker information. Basically, it's build, how much it costs, and where you can buy. And this is all fake information. And one interesting thing is that all this information is also generated by Gemini Pro. So I have taken liberty to like generate this information. I have added my own information, which is a fake store, and just for this demo purpose. So basically, using this knowledge base, what I'm trying to do here is initialize a RAG agent where it will take instruction and the image, and from there it tries to understand the image and provide answer if there are any product listing that is similar to the image input provided. So basically what I'm trying to do is, given a pair of photo of a Nike pair or a sneaker, I want to know what it is in a very brief manner and where I can buy it. Imagine you are a like a shopkeeper. You want to create an AI where people will might just ask about, hey, you have this pair of sneaker, and just send the image there. Then you can use such like a modality or such functionality to create this RAG around. So basically here in this variable here, I have provided the information of three pairs of one sandal, one Nike Dunk Low, another Nike Air Max, and some fake information. Don't go into the details there, but yeah. And what you need to do to create this RAG is basically create a vector database or vector store. And in order to do that, what you do is the embedding function. Here, basically what is happening is that given this knowledge base, what it does, it generates embeddings using this particular line of code, using Google AI generate embeddings, and then create a vector database around that. So basically in this three line of code, it is just creating, taking this knowledge base and generating a vector database around that. I'll just run it for now. And then using Langchain, what you can do, very similar to like we did earlier, create a LLM for text. Since Gemini Pro and Gemini Vision are two different model, and you need to create, like deal with them separately, you need to initialize two LLMs. So one for text and one for vision. So for text, what you want to do is basically provide context based on this vector database, provide the actual information that the image, the Gemini understood from the image, and then provide brief information about what the image is about and the store location based on our knowledge base. So basically imagine when Gemini understood what the image is about, this particular line of code will just try to understand if there is something related to that image in our knowledge base, and then provide very brief information around that and the store location where you can buy that particular product. And using this few lines of code, basically you create this RAG. So here you provide vector database as a context information. Here I'm creating something called runnable pass-through. So don't go into much details. Basically what it means is that this RAG in itself will be part of a chain. So no matter how the input in originality the human will be given to this particular chain, just uh, take the input from wherever you can take and process it further. So basically you can either specify whether you want a particular kind of input for this RAG, but in this case it's just a placeholder. So it will be more like clear if I go when I go along with the code, but for now just bear with me. So basically you initialize a template how you want to answer the question based on the text and create a chain. So basically what it does here is that you are providing vector database, your input mechanism, the prompt, how you want to handle the question, and the model, the LLM text model, which is Gemini Pro, and basically string output parser. So basically, once the LLM generates an output, you want it in a plain text manner. So that's it. It's very straightforward code. So provide vector database, provide input, provide prompt, LLM, and then parse the output in a text string. That's it. And you just hit it, and this is RAG. Now, in our example, what we want to do is first we want to take the image as the input. So this RAG in itself will also be a part of another chain. So here what I'm doing is initializing another model which is called LLM Vision. So basically using the same code like before, but just different model here, Vision model, and then create another chain called full chain. Here basically take the input, run this LLM Vision model. This will create the text output based on the image. Basically, Gemini will try to understand what it is inside that image, and that text output will be then again given to this RAG chain, and this will try to answer the question. So, using this, it's like the name says, it's a chain. So you can just add like a Lego block, like different elements all together. Using this, what you can do is specify your input images. For now, I have created 3 demo images, and yeah. So let me start with the first one. So I'll just get the image from URL one. I'll preview the image and just pass it to our full chain. So basically, what I'm doing is provide information on brand and model of given sneaker and image. So basically, yeah, given this input, given this image input, I'll just like to know where I can buy this sneaker along with the brief information. So here, as you can see, the the chain works. So model Nike Air Max Plus, description very briefly, and store location like I have included in my rack. So if I go with a different URL, let's see Nike 2, let's see what will happen. So this image is about this particular sneaker, and I'll just like to know where I can buy this. So using this chain, let's hope it will work. Okay. So here, as you can see, it tries to like gather all the relevant information from our knowledge base. So here in this case, it should have given only one output, but this is demo, and so yeah, so it tries to like give you like 3 different. But yeah, basically, yeah, it tries to understand the image and give you the output. And let's try with another demo and another image, see how it will work. Yeah, this is a pair of sandals, Nike sandals, and let's see how it will work. Okay, so this is of course slide, and yeah, you can buy from Multimodal, which is as specified in the knowledge way. So in this way, as you can see, you can use like assemble different chains or different elements like a chain, and like pass one input to another and so on, and create this very complex application in a very few line of code using this Gemini multimodal use case. So yeah, this is it for demo. If you have any question, please feel free to ask.
Great. So we have few more questions that I'll probably add. So suppose I want to build a multimodal RAG, what embedding is best suited?
Uh, you can do a couple of things here. So first thing is it depends on what LLM that you want to use. And in your case, if it is Google or some other commercial model, then my best suggestion would be, from my best known knowledge, is go for their own standard embeddings. Try that. If it doesn't work, then you can go to Hugging Face and see the leaderboard there. So there are, in Hugging Face, there are different spaces where they have compared different embeddings and how which one performs like how in different modalities or text or like use cases. You can pick the best performing Hugging Face embedding model from there, and yeah, use that.
All right, we have one more question. If we show a sneaker, cat and
Mhm.
dog Gemini or any model can it understand scanned PDF docs?
Uh, for Gemini Vision, you have to provide it as an image input. So yeah, if the PDF pages are also converted into image like a JPG or PNG, then it can understand the text and how it is formatted and all the details. Yeah, you can provide like cats and dogs, of course, but it has to be image, I think. Yeah.
I guess I was on mute. We have one more question. Any alternative open source multimodal model that can be used?
There are many. but I cannot remember one specific name top of my mind. But recently there has been a new releases, and I'm sure if not on par with Gemini, there are certain models that are very good, like performing well on images. So there are of course open source ones. Yeah,
Yeah, I'll give one suggestion. I recently was working on Lava, double L A
yeah,
V A.
Lava. Yeah,
Lava is an open
yeah,
source
yeah.
model for multimodal. But if you
Mhm,
are looking for an alternative for Gemini, then there is also GPT-4 Vision. But I don't think that is free. But for
no, no.
open source,
Yeah,
you can use Lava. Yeah.
yeah.
So
1.5, right? Lava 1.5.
yeah, that is an open source model. I don't
Yeah,
remember the version name, but
yeah,
it's available on Hugging Face and also on
yeah.
Llama Index Langchain documentation. So for that scanned PDF, there is a follow-up question. Is Tesseract better for extracting the text from image or scanned PDF for multimodal LLM model is better?
This is tricky because it depends on the input, and both of them work very differently. So we cannot say for sure which one is better. Uh, I guess like the best response here would be to try with your input and pick the one that works best. And if Tesseract or some traditional way of OCR or something like that works for you, I think it's much better because it's less computational heavy compared to this multimodal LLMs.
Great. So one suggestion from my side will also be that you can look into. Previously, we had a live session just week ago on Document LM, so you can check out that live session video, and now you can get started with Document QA with Layout LLM. So that was the live session we did. You can probably check out that as well. It will give you an idea of how you can extract text from the document. So there is a follow-up question: can
Mhm.
we try a demo of Gemini Pro with Scan PDF now?
Yeah, you can do from Bard, formerly known as Bard, which is now a Gemini, and also from Google AI Studio, but you have to convert it into JPG or PNG, I think. Yeah.
Okay, I guess if you're thinking to do it live, probably it will be tough again to rewrite the code.
Mhm. Oh, for now, no, I think it's a
Okay,
bit complicated for now. Yeah, but
yeah,
but you can try it on your own end. It's very straightforward. Like you because it's already hosted and you just have to have a Google account. So
yeah. I've just attached the GitHub URL. I mean, not GitHub, collab URL, so that you can refer it to the source code what the speaker is presenting. And we'll wait for a few more minutes until we have few more questions. And we usually ask one question in most of the live session. Suppose if anyone wants to learn about multimodal and if he has knowledge in deep learning, what will be your suggestion?
Hmm. Okay. It's a very, like a very question, but I guess so. If you're asking where you can learn, I can probably tell you YouTube because now a lot of GDs have started, like working on YouTube, and you can learn a lot of cutting edge and latest knowledge from there. Uh, One thing what I found very beneficial while I was also exploring this multimodal use case is try different models on Hugging Face. It's very powerful and it's very, uh, rewarding, I guess. Like you see different embeddings, you see different models that are open source, and you try out how it works best for your use case. Yeah, the research part is what very exciting. So pick a course or tutorial from either YouTube or deeplearning.ai. Try different models on Hugging Face. There are a lot of frameworks that are interesting, like Langchain or Llama Index, and like it's a very new field. I don't know, like to give you a very precise answer around that. Because to be honest, we all are exploring, right? So every day it's a new thing. So I guess I'm just as learner like you right now for generative AI.
Yeah. So one suggestion from my end will be that, as you suggested, Hugging Face. So Hugging Face has a separate column for text, audio, video, and also for multimodal, where you can explore more about blip models, which were starting point for multimodal. This will give you more clarity on how we can get started with.
Yeah.
Yeah. So do you have
I
any?
have I have few more slides for learning resources if our audience wants to know anything about that. Yeah.
So yeah, it's like how to connect with your team. You're doing a great job. Love to contribute.
Thank you so much. You can connect with me on LinkedIn. So let me share again the screen. If you can share the screen, I
Yeah,
will
I've
just
added
show.
it.
Okay, great. So okay, yeah. So this is my handle on LinkedIn. So feel free to go there, send me a request, and we can connect there. Thank you so much again. Yeah, let me just head over to the last part of my slide, which is the learning resources. And by the way, Sam, here I'm showing is also a GDE, and he is doing amazing work on cutting edge information, like all the latest stuff. So I highly recommend everyone to follow his channel, and you will learn a lot from his videos. And yeah, another is deeplearning.ai, which I personally also follow every day. Like there are like tons of new courses every week or month, or like it's very active. So the courses are very short, like 1 hour or 1.5 hour, and you can just get the precise information that you need. So it can be around LLM, it can be about like a stable diffusion model and so on. So there are tons and tons of free courses, so which are very specific and very rewarding. So I highly recommend everyone to go there and learn. And yeah, and also there are like pathways that provided by Google Cloud about generative AI. So you can go there and take your own time and learn more about it. So that's it. Yeah, thank you. That's the end of my slide.
Great, great. Thank you for demonstrating the slides. And I've just attached the LinkedIn URL of Kshitiz Rimal. You can just look into the chat session. And once again, thank you for accepting the invitation. I hope many people were able to understand how to apps the multimodal code implementation. Obviously, Gemini is also in the growing stage, and multimodal is something which will probably start booming just like text, but it's still too early, what I would say. And meanwhile, the learning resources, what we shared in the slides, would be very useful to you. And do you have any closing thoughts before we leave this session?
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. I feel privileged, and I hope to interact with all of you again soon in the future, either online or offline. So, yeah,
Great. So once again, everyone, if you have joined us live, thank you for joining us, and hope we'll have more expert live session. And upcoming expert live session is on February 24th. So this session will be about Kubeflow on how you can get started with machine learning with Kubernetes. It's gonna be hands-on session so that even you can get started with Kubeflow. So until then, goodbye and stay tuned. You can also join our Discord channel. I'll probably share the Discord link. Just a second. Yeah. So I'm attaching the Discord link. So if in case you have any discussion related to the live session we have, and if you want to stay updated on the upcoming live session, you can join our Discord channel. We'll share all the updates, and we are open for discussion as well. Until then, goodbye. And yeah, do join our Discord channel for more updates on upcoming live sessions.